Let's look at the top 5 NBA draft classes of all time. At number 5, the 1956 draft class. How many rings? The number 1 overall selection was Hugo Green, a guard forward for the Rochester Royals, and the Hall of Famers from this class include Bill Russell, Tommy Heinsohn, K.C. Jones, and Elgin Baylor. The Rookie of the Year was Tom Heinsohn, which is a forward from the Celtics, and the draft MVP was Bill Russell, a center from the Celtics, who we obviously all know for his illustrious 11-ring career. The 4 Hall of Famers selected in the 1956 NBA draft can match up with any 4 Hall of Famers picked in any single draft. Bill Russell, Elgin Baylor, Tommy Heinsohn, and K.C. Jones. If you're counting rings, that group of 4 players ended up with a total of 36 NBA championships between them. Russell, Heinsohn, and Jones all won titles as players and coaches with the Boston Celtics. Russell's draft story contains the boldest trade in NBA history and involved the Ice Capades and eventually forced a franchise to leave its own city. At number 5, the 1970 draft class. The Rookie of the Year from this class was Dave Cowens, a forward center for the Boston Celtics, and Jeff Petrie, a guard for the Portland Trail Blazers. It's hard to imagine another draft ever matching the record 8 Hall of Famers who were selected in 1970, led by number 1 overall pick Bob Lanier, a player known as much for his talent as for smoking cigarettes in the locker room at halftime. The first 4 picks of the 1970 draft ended up Hall of Famers, and 7 of the first 8 picks ended up making at least one All-NBA team, and they were also All-Stars. The first 2 picks of the second round, Calvin Murphy and Nate Archibald, were also Hall of Famers. While many players on this list accomplished much more on paper, it's hard to argue that the People's Champ from 1970 was number 3 overall pick Pistol Pete Maravich, the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history. At number 3, the 1996 NBA draft. The number 1 overall selection was Allen Iverson, a guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, and other Hall of Famers include Iverson, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and Ben Wallace. It hasn't been until the last few seasons that the class of 1996 may have fallen slightly behind the class of 2003, depending on who you ask, but that seems like it's splitting hairs. 4 Hall of Famers were selected in the first round in 96, Iverson, Allen, Bryant, and Steve Nash. And along with Allen Iverson, Bryant and Nash all won NBA MVP honors. The truly remarkable thing about the 1996 draft was a player who wasn't selected. NCAA Division II forward Ben Wallace came out of Virginia Union and became the 5th Hall of Famer from the rookie class. So he wasn't drafted, but he was a part of the rookie class and he made the Hall of Fame. Good for him. At number 2, the 2003 NBA draft class. With the number 1 overall selection being LeBron James, and some other pretty notable selections being Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, David West, Chris Kaman, Kyle Korver, Mo Williams, and Kendrick Perkins, let us all stand back in awe of the 2003 draft class, which already has 1 Hall of Famer in forward Chris Bosh, who was forced to retire early because of his health problems. Ultimately, the 2003 class will see 4 of its first 5 picks enter the Hall of Fame. Number 1 overall pick LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade are all first ballot looks, definitely. And finally, at number 1, the 1984 NBA draft, simply the best. The number 1 overall selection was Hakeem Olajuwon, a center for the Houston Rockets, and some other Hall of Famers include Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and Oscar Schmidt. The argument you always hear for why the 1984 NBA draft is the greatest draft of all time, maybe in all of professional sports actually, is that no matter what, the Houston Rockets would still have taken Hakeem Olajuwon number 1 overall. That's ridiculous, and shouldn't be taken as disparaging Olajuwon, who is one of the greatest centers of all time. Saying the Rockets would still take him over Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball ever, is just dumb. The draft wasn't just Olajuwon and Jordan either. 3 more Hall of Famers were picked after that. Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and international star Oscar Schmidt, who never played in the NBA. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up this video for Any Sport. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below which draft class was your favorite, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.